when I was joining, and then this can go on the record and we can edit, or you want to start, because I'm too keen to jump in, right? For me, I made all the mistakes that you highlight in your social media posts, and I'm getting to why I joined your program, right? For
Mm,
want me to talk to your clients, anybody who's
mm,
on the fence who thinks your
mm,
program is too good to be true,
mm,
I am a classic example of your program works and it keeps working.
mm,
For
mm,
instance, even now, I
mm.
parked my car like a 7 minute walk away, even though I could have drove to this coffee shop or a restaurant. These are like it got hammered into my head. Parking at the masajid is not an issue for me anymore. You know why? I'm not looking at parking next to the imam anymore. You know what I mean? Like I park intentionally like 10 minutes away so that I can get this 20-minute walk and and you know what? I have so much to talk about your program and the benefits. I've been kind of giving you snippets here and there, but
Okay, thank you for that. To this day, I wasn't sure which country you was from, whether you're from Pakistan or India, or maybe Bangladesh, but I leaned more on Pakistan. So Majid, what made you start working with us for Fit That Life Mastery? Like, what was the problem you were trying to solve?
so I until my late 20s, I've been fairly active. I didn't really practice, say, sports on a periodic basis, but I used to live on the university campus. And because we were a central unit, I used to walk and bike to a lot of departments. And before that, before moving to Canada, I was playing sport every weekend, going hiking, any sort of a sport. But when COVID happened, and I had just got married just before COVID lockdowns kicked in. When COVID happened, I started my weight going. I looked at my weight going up. Like not leaving the house, sitting and eating. I think the first wake up call was my weight went from medium to a large. And I was a little cocky, you know what I mean? In a sense, I thought, I know how to lose weight. I've never been overweight in my life. So to give you some numbers from like 73, 74 kilos, I went to 81 kilos. Um,
Mm.
and um, and what I've done, and I think you touch upon this periodically, what do people do when they want to lose weight? What do you think?
They cut out carbs, or they go running, or they join the gym, or all three.
The second one, yeah, I started running. So every day after Fajr, put on my headset, run for 20 minutes. Did this for like 7 or 8 days, and finally my weight didn't drop even half a pound. And that happened. Then I started training badminton once a week. Like I gave up running now at this stage because 10 days running
Sorry,
didn't do this thing.
what did you? Sorry, what did you start doing after running?
So I wanted to play badminton once a week to lose weight. But because my frame is not used to picking up 81 kilos, my back was hurting like crazy. So my prayers were getting affected in the masjid. I could kind of feel the pain. I couldn't play 20 minutes of badminton at a stretch. And honestly, all this while, I was in denial that weight is an issue. You know what I mean? In my head, I was still like, yeah, I know how to lose weight. I've never been kind of struggled with weight. Wha- Then I did number three, what you said, go to the gym. I went to the gym with my roommates because my wife still hadn't moved back to Canada. Went to the gym like twice a week, even though I was supposed to go every day or every alternate day. Hated it. Didn't really change. And for the first time in my life, somebody told me, Majid, you look fat, you know? And around the same time, I
And you
was
were
attending,
81 kg.
I was 81 kilos, yes.
Okay.
So
And
as I said,
I'm highlighting that because I still have, I still speak to people who are still in denial when they're 100 kg, 100 plus, and they still, and the first hurdle we need to overcome is people need to realize and become aware that what a real healthy weight looks like for most people. especially for South Asians and Desis, because we start to develop illnesses much earlier on.
So yeah, around the same time, 81 kilos being in denial. This is when I started getting a lot of ads on YouTube from ripped guys about stop running, stop cutting carbs, you can lose weight, all of this. And I was surprised, and not surprised as well because I know how the internet works, right? So, but I wasn't comfortable paying a stranger to lose weight. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Um, Around the same time, you and I were part of Marut's cohort, and I used to hear you. And funnily, I was hearing you every week about your business, how passionate you are. It's never occurred to me that I may be a client of yours. You know what I mean? For instance, I was still in denial that because mind you, the standards are so low, nobody found me fat except for the people who go to the gym and work out. You know, they were the only ones who told me, Majid, you look fat. But for other people, like, and I used to wear tobes. I think you touch upon this as well. So I used to wear tobes
oh
every day.
yes.
So nobody notices what's under that. You know what I mean?
Mm,
My intention wasn't to hide the weight, but in general. Long story short, tried gym, tried running, uh, tried playing sport, couldn't stick to any of it. And now my wife and kid had arrived, and I couldn't, didn't have the luxury of time. This is when it occurred to me, you know what? If, because this is a spiral, right? If I start at 81, it will only climb up if I don't seek intervention or help. You understand? So this is where I realized I need to join some sort of a program. And as I said, when I did my own search, everybody was like, I mean, this is pretty common, right? One of my friends was doing keto. Needless to say, the weight came back with vengeance. And I know I cannot diet. I don't know if you noticed a pattern. I said gym, sports, but I never spoke about diet because I know I don't cook, so I'm at the mercy of whoever cooks, and I show humility and eat whatever's being made. So that is when it occurred to me that Adam's been around me all the time. Why haven't I considered? Because mind you, 81 kilos for somebody who's 173 centimeters and who's never been, this is like a ticking time bomb. I know you mentioned 100 kilos for sure, but for me, I know what healthy looks like, so I knew I wasn't healthy. And so that is when I said, let me seek a call with you. And that is when you gave me a form to fill. I went through the process, and what hit me was your sincerity. You know, like because you were not in this cohort that we were part of. That was all businessmen and businesswomen talking to each other. Nobody was trying to sell to each other. And so I thought, if a man is passionately speaking about his offering to a bunch of people who are not even potential clientele, and I can only imagine what he would be like with his actual clients. I I knew myself really well. If you had asked me to go to the gym or even jog, I wouldn't have worked with you. So when you said no gym, no jogging, no mad cardio, no crash diet, I was like, this is my man. I have to sign up. So after the call, I took my. I don't have a lot of savings even now, and even at that time. So, but I make decent money to be enough to be able to save that money for your coaching. And then my wife uh, was into fitness, you know, before Nikah. Of course, after that, she kind of got busy with kids. So she was highly supportive as well. She's like, get a coach, get a coach, get a coach, get a coach. Then we, of course, I didn't need my wife's permission, but to consult, right? So based on that, I saved money. I said, Bismillah, let's do it.
can I ask that? Did you? So when I made those claims about you don't need to cut out carbs, you don't need to go to the gym, you don't need to go running, did was did that not create a doubt? Like, because some people see that and think, oh, this must be a scam. I've had 3 or 4 messages like that this week saying like, so are you gonna you're gonna give me pills? You're gonna put me on a juice diet. You're gonna give me pills. You're gonna make me fast. What is it? How can you possibly not cut out carbs, not go running, not go, not go to the gym? Because that raises alarm bells for a lot of people. And start thinking, ah, this is something dodgy.
No, that's a good point. So I did do something before I actually paid you the money. I joined your free Facebook group, and for 1 week, I followed some of the tips that were mentioned. And for the first time in that 6 months or whatever, I lost a bit of weight. So I'm like, this absolutely works. But again, I didn't get cocky and said, yeah, I got it. So yeah, I did validate some of your statements, and I did see the result for myself. And alhamdulillah, I signed up, and I think it was November 2023, I guess. Yeah, so that time I went all in. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what was it like working together then?
Um, I mean, I was surprised at how structured and focused everything was. Uh, in the very first week, your claims of this program is for busy professionals, and you wouldn't do like a 1 hour per week, because honestly, I cannot afford 1 hour per week. Like in the time that works for both of us, right? Um, those and what surprised me, the how the experience was showing throughout the program, because you make fun of, or you're critical of people, the gym bros, like the diamond gym folks who kind of keep pushing, and kind of you were not a fan of those. So very structured and very digestible content. Every week had a theme. Of course, I didn't follow all the 12 weeks of themes, but I did like 8 or 9 weeks of theme, and that was enough for me. And I think you touch on that as well. So I was impressed, and I think you said, I don't know if it was in the Telegram group of your clients or on your public. Uh, Basically, you said that you've been in this industry enough to kind of filter it and remove the weeds and kind of just have focused stuff, and that should be enough. So yeah, so that those were my first impressions. I was like, you clearly know what you're doing, and for my time and my schedule, it was like a dream start.
So what you're saying is the insights that you got, you could tell that this comes from experience, right? And I'm against the hardcore gym bro mentality that go in there and kill yourself, and people want to go from being a couch potato to a soldier, and then they burn out the week after, and then the cycle just repeats itself. And for us, it's about finding something that fits in with every individual's life. And again, how we may have coached you might be different to how we coach somebody else, because their preferences, their lifestyle is slightly different. Maybe somebody wants to go to the gym, and if they want to go to the gym, we will create a workout that works for them. But we tell them that what's the most important priority, like in terms of levers, which levers should you pull to give you the fastest results. And if you have 1 hour a week, then there's certain things you can focus on that will give you much higher returns in that hour than going and killing yourself in the gym. Whereas most people will think, if I've got an hour, that I'm going to train as hard as possible for 1 hour a week, and then neglect the bigger things. Is that what you kind of meant?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I didn't interact with other clients one on one. I did spoke to one of your other, I forget his name, Bash or Bashar, I don't know his name. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So but yeah, I was very focused on my individual plan, and I think the attitude that helped me probably will help anybody in any area. I was not shy to ask questions to you or to your staff.
Yeah.
I and yeah. So in the very
And
first week, sorry.
we welcome that because it keeps everyone engaged. It creates the community. When we have a bunch of silent people, it's no fun. So, what is your life like now? So, what was your starting weight? What was your end weight? What's your life like now, and how has the transformation you experienced?
Okay, so I joined at 81 kilos, and my attempt at losing weight by practicing for the first week before I joined, maybe I lost half a kilo, so maybe say 80 kilos. The reason I say 81 because I lost that half a kilo or a kilo by practicing the principles that we outlined. So I joined at 81. I left the program around 70 or 70, yeah, I mean 69 or 70. But I kept the momentum after 3 months as well. And the lowest that I got to a few weeks after the program was 66 kilos at 173 centimeters. And since then, since November 2023, and we are
From
on May,
81 to 66.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
66.
That's a significant.
Yeah, and more recently in Ramadan, I was 66 as well. And right now, I'm kind of on a spiral, but still, I checked the weight yesterday. I'm 70 kilos, and I haven't gone beyond 70 or even 69 since
Mm.
I left the program. So, yeah,
Thank you for that. And how have things changed for you? Just before we started the recording, I believe you mentioned that look, there's certain habits that have completely ingrained, and now because one of the things we talk about is we say we want to get you to a place where everything's become second nature, where the default, a healthy lifestyle becomes a new normal. So you're not having to exert a lot of conscious effort all the time because that's exhausting. If you ever constantly having to think which food should I eat, how should I, how should I exercise, and all the rest of it, then it's difficult to maintain that level of exertion all the time. So we try to get it to the point where I like to call it weight loss automation, where it's default, it happens almost automatically in the background, and it just becomes a part and parcel of your life.
I can touch on it. It's not one or two things. I'm going to start from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, including weekends. So I wake up and I try to eat only a slice of bread and a bunch of protein. It's automatic now. I don't really try hard. I just tell my wife boil some eggs or fry some eggs, and I try to eat a single toast of bread. I love bread. In a sense, previously I used to eat like four slices of bread, just so that you know. And this is what I love about the portion control method, like protein and then a piece of carb, a small piece of carb. So that's my breakfast. And I eat lunch again. Like I love rice. I think I told you as well. But what went from like a plate full of rice is to like a portion controlled rice.
Mm.
So that's my lunch. And if I'm attending a meeting at work where I'm not the host and I'm not sharing the screen, I put my earphones and I walk. So that way I keep the momentum going. And then dinner, same thing, a little bit of rice and a bunch of protein.
So
That's when I'm.
what you're saying is all of your meals have now become quite balanced.
Yes, I'm not perfect. I do overeat sometimes, but what used to be overeating, say, one meal every day is like
Mm.
maybe a few meals every week because I want to kind of be truthful, right? For instance, yesterday I ate crazy amount of food. Um, say if I eat crazy amount of food for lunch, then I either skip dinner or barely eat dinner
Yeah.
or something like that. So to your point, that's the autopilot. You mentioned the problem with running on a treadmill or go running a half marathon is your body burns quickly and asks for the same amount of energy back very fast. So I'm very conscious about it. And plenty of things. I do things around my house. I'm a very, very desi man in this aspect. You touch in your program as well, saying if you are a couch potato, just get up, vacuum the house, or kind of work in your yard. Like at least get
Mm.
that movement if you're not able to get out and walk.
Help around the
Uh,
house. Be more of a useful husband.
Yeah, so I do that as well. For instance, I vacuum because it gets me the steps and kind of gives me all sorts of movements. I
Mm.
play with my kids. I think that's another reason I joined the program. I didn't touch, but I have three young boys, and my little one, who was 3 years old, didn't like me putting my hands in the pocket or sitting on the couch and treating him like a dog. Right, throw the ball, get the ball. My son wasn't like that. He wanted kind of more interaction. And I used to struggle, but through this program, kind of he gets tired before me, you know. So
Yeah.
plenty
And
of other
also,
things. And
sorry, carry on.
So plenty of other stuff, right? And funnily, when I was 81 kilos, I still used to fast on Mondays and Thursdays and not lose weight, right? And only to understand in your program that if I'm eating the day's worth of calories in my exact, then technically I'm kind of evening out, right? So um, yeah, portion control steps, and being mindful of eating. Again, I don't want to sound like a perfectionist, but but I think the biggest thing that I still practice to this day, in the mid of the program, I felt like just like many people off track. And in that week, when I was sharing with the groups and with the weekly check-ins, and I say I'm off track, I gained a kilo. Of course, I dropped like a couple of kilos. And you tell me that, Majid, nobody gains weight overnight. Just because you ate a bag of chips, ice cream, and whatever crap, you won't become fat. We said these decisions have to be made day in, day out for a period of weeks or months for you to become fat. Just because one of your tires is flat, don't go be slashing other tires. Just take it easy. So this really helps me, this mindset. For instance, I do have days that I eat chips, of
Yeah.
course, not with ice cream, but I'm just saying that I remember this thing that you told us that nobody becomes fat overnight. In the same way, nobody loses weight overnight too, right? So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. And also, I remember you saying you had some back problems as well, and that went away as well. Went away after you lost weight.
Absolutely. I used to struggle because the Imam used to pray 2 pages of Quran in the Isha or Fajr. I used to be in pain to a point saying I should drive like 10 minutes to a mosque which reads smaller surahs. But since the program, I think even in Tarawih, I was able to stand without like chronic pain and stuff. And it's amazing because I went to different chiropractors, only one of them who told me that your frame is not used to keeping this weight. So that should solve the problem. And even got an X-ray done, and the doctor said this is pure muscle issue. Your bones and everything is all right. So yeah, alhamdulillah, no chronic back pain, lower back pain since I lost weight.
So after losing the weight, it's gone away, the back pain. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Because I think one of the things that people don't tell you, people are aware of, sometimes when you carry it, when you've got excess weight, it's carrying your center of gravity forward, or it's pulling your center of gravity forward, and that can sometimes cause your bones at the back to pinch on your nerves. And we've had a few people who have found that the back pain they've struggled with for many years, chronic back pain, and they've tried all sorts. After losing weight, just disappeared. Thank you for that, Majid. Thank you for coming on and sharing your experience. Um, and long may you be an ambassador for health and fitness.
I'm sure there are people watching this and who may be on the fence and not uh, kind of willing to take the lead. The aspect that I didn't touch, um, as I mentioned, I didn't have the money in the bank lying to do this program, and I think that's what makes it even more valuable than you when you spend your halal money, your blood, sweat, and tears into this one. I was hesitant, and funnily, if you ask me, I think I've seen the return on investment maybe after a year or so. I'll tell you how. Masjid used to be like 3 minutes walk from my place, and I used to drive. I
Mm,
used to drive. I used to drive. I think in my weekly reviews, I was given a principle. I don't know if it was you or your coach. Basically, the principle was anything within 15-minute radius
yes,
of your
yes.
house,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
That's my
cannot,
one.
you,
That's my 1 mile radius, 1 mile rule.
right, gotcha. So you cannot drive. That was one. And second, groceries. I used to hate doing groceries. And when you said groceries, it's the best part of a weight loss journey. Go walk as much as you want in those big box stores and pick up things. So that's so stopped driving for short distances, started walking for groceries. I bought a cart to drag. I used to live by the mall, so technically there was no excuse for me to buy a Civic. And my son's daycare used to be like a mile radius, like 15 minutes walk from where I lay. So I used to put my two boys in the stroller and drops in, picks him up. So like you're pushing, you're working out.
mm,
Uh, I usually save say about $15 per month on the fuel. And
mm,
and of course, everybody in North America, everybody likes coffee, so buy a coffee and a donut and stuff like that. So now I just buy coffee, no donut or nothing.
mm,
So that's
mm.
what, and usually,
It's crazy how much you can save, you know. I had another call with a brother today. He's spending about $1,000 a month on takeaways.
yeah, take
After we calculated it, we realized he's
so
spending about $1,000
so now coffee
Canadian,
money,
Canadian dollars. He's
yeah,
from Canada as well.
got the coffee money, like the snack money saved, fuel saved. Because I'm doing portion control, I stopped eating the whole takeout anymore. So that's a saving for my family as well. Like
Mm,
instead of spending $80 on Uber Eats, that cost dropped to $50, right? And that saved plenty of money. And there is I think more recently we exchanged a few messages wherein I asked you the meaning of eat enough to keep your back straight. And then you told me that Hadid basically is telling eat enough to survive, wherein you're able to perform. Survive basically means you're able to perform things in your life without uh, getting tired or whatever, right? So
mm,
I think I easily got my money back or even more, to be honest with you. Mind you, I come from a family where diabetes is common, and I know friends my age are pre-diabetic. I think it's priceless, though. I can kind of sit here and tell you 3,000, 10,000, or whatever.
mm,
Because for me, alhamdulillah, it's uh, it's uh, it's been something that I practice every day, and this is my intention when I worked with you. Was like I don't want crash time. I didn't look at your food recipe. It's funny because your program, people can take it however they want. There are recipes. There are, as you said, if somebody wants to work out, the program is wholesome. But I took portions of it. But for me, I wanted to do things that I will carry for the rest of my life. I used to live on the ninth floor and I used to pray in the masjid at least 3 times a day. So I was going down 9 floors, going up 9 floors, walking to the masjid 3 minutes per minute. This became a lifestyle to a point where my kids also wanted to take stairs, even though they're like only 5 and stuff. Lots of things, lots of tiny, tiny things like this, they add up. And I was surprised when you told me that I'm one of your successful clients because in my head, I didn't practice 100% of the things that I went over in the 12 weeks. I picked up like the food thing, the walking thing, and the attitude towards dawats and takeouts. I never went to a dawat and I didn't eat full. I never told I'm in a program or whatever. I ate to my full, never embarrassed my host. I ate desserts, uh, meat, salads, starters, whatever they have. It kind of inspired kind of my wife as well, to get back into kind of course she was already cooking healthy anyways. But I think this is a generational thing, like my kids,
yes.
inshallah, will
Yeah,
copy. But for
inshallah.
me, yeah, yeah, I don't think it could have. I could have. I mean, of course, Allah, mashallah, right? Allah kind of planned this, but yeah, forever grateful to you and the program, bro. Like amazing. I think I sent you pictures as well of my face, like from. It's
It's
funny. I
similar.
didn't even realize I was like getting. Uh,
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I thought, wow, it's actually quite a big difference. You know, especially when someone's been slim and they put on, because when you lost weight, well, when someone's been slim and they put on weight, you notice it. And but in your pictures as well, after you lost weight, it looks so much fresher. You look younger, you look more lively, you look so much just more vibrant and fresher, more
yeah,
energized. You can see it in your face.
yeah, yeah. And I didn't touch on this, but I think what helped me was your credentials too, right? Like you, you worked in a madrasa, you taught kids, you
Mm,
worked as a personal trainer, now you're working as a coach. So I think for me, all of this is like you. I could trust you. You know what I mean? Like anybody, I know you don't try to show off your credentials. Like you maintain that humility, but you know what you're doing. And you're not like somebody in their twenties trying to make money off people. You know what I mean? Like you went through your life. But yeah, my only regret is I couldn't inspire other folks to join. But hopefully, to this call, people can listen and Jazakallah for having me. It's been an
Yeah,
absolute pleasure, Adam, speaking to you. Take care, brother.
thank you for coming.
Salam alaikum.
Exactly. Right.